As I sat in my room, staring at the old wooden box that had been left for me by my grandfather, a cold shiver ran down my spine. According to him, the box contained something called the ghost mask, which he claimed could show a person their true self, not just how they presented themselves to the world, but how they were perceived by those around them. He told me that wearing the mask would reveal one's most private thoughts and feelings, no matter how deeply buried or well hidden they might be. But as fascinating as that sounded, there was another side to the legend of the ghost mask. Tales of disappearances and violence. Grandpa whispered that, over the years, several individuals who had worn the mask on Halloween night had vanished without a trace, while others discovered their loved ones twisted into grotesque shapes, frozen in expressions of terror or pain. My heart raced as I wondered whether these stories were simply urban legends used to scare young children, or if there was some truth behind them. Despite feeling unsettled by the thought of putting on such a mysterious item, I couldn't resist the urge to see what lay inside the box. With trembling fingers, I carefully opened it to reveal a black velvet cloth, folded neatly inside. Gently lifting out the fabric, I gasped at what lay beneath, a hauntingly beautiful gold and silver mask, adorned with delicate carvings and precious gemstones. Its eyes seemed to gleam even in the dim light, and I felt drawn to its enigmatic beauty like a magnet. As I placed the mask onto my face, an eerie sensation filled me. At first, nothing appeared different. I looked the same as always, but then subtle changes began occurring before my very eyes. Colors grew more vivid, sounds became sharper, and smells intensified until they verged on overpowering. These physical alterations rapidly escalated, becoming so extreme that I felt disoriented and off balance. My vision blurred slightly, causing me to reach out to steady myself against a nearby table. That's inhaling a shaky breath. I pulled away from her concerned gaze and stepped backward, needing space to process all that had happened. So many questions bombarded my mind, but none of them seemed appropriate given our current situation. Did she truly believe that I intended to harm my beloved little sister? How could anyone think ill of me when I wore the ghost mask? And why did the effect seem stronger when Sarah and I interacted? While I desperately wanted answers to these puzzling issues, I realized that we both required time alone to cope with the revelations that had unfolded tonight. "Thank you, Mom," I muttered hoarsely, "for trusting me enough to share your secrets." She nodded gravely, reaching out to give me a brief hug before gesturing toward the door. "It's late, dear. Go rest and we can discuss further later." Her voice held a hint of exhaustion mixed with acceptance. Wandering to my bedroom, I closed the door softly behind me, collapsing onto the bed with a heavy sigh. For countless minutes, I lay there in silence, trying to digest everything that had occurred since discovering the ghost mask. Somewhere along the line, the cursed artifact had transformed into far more than a mere curiosity. It had become an integral part of my life, binding me tightly to those closest to me through shared emotions and fears, albeit involuntarily. Even with the knowledge that the mask could cause catastrophic trauma, I couldn't bear the idea of abandoning it altogether. When sleep finally claimed me, visions of silver moonlight flooded my dreams, carrying with it the specter of something sinister lurking beyond my consciousness. waiting for midnight to strike once again. It is now the morning after Allison's discovery, and she finds herself unable to stop thinking about the events of the previous night. Despite knowing better, she can't help but feel curious about the ghost mask and the strange connection it seems to have created between her and her family members. As she gets ready for school, memories of her father's distraught reaction to seeing her wearing the mask play heavily on her mind. She knows she should steer clear of the object, but somehow she can't bring herself to get rid of it entirely. Instead, she places the box containing the mask safely away, promising herself that she will avoid touching it unless absolutely necessary. At school, Allison tries to keep things normal and focuses on her classes and assignments. However, as soon as the day ends, she rushes home, eager to examine the mysterious artifact once more. When she arrives, she checks the locked cabinet where she stored the mask, ensuring that it remains safe and hidden away. Satisfied that all is secure, she allows herself a moment of quiet reflection. Days pass by uneventfully, and Allison begins to let her guard down. She starts wearing the ghost mask occasionally, finding comfort in the unique perspective it offers. Each time she puts it on, she experiences new emotional depths and glimpses of raw honesty from those close to her. Gradually, she becomes accustomed to using the device responsibly, seeking honest connections rather than manipulation or exploitation. Her mother eventually learns of her daughter's continued use of the mask and shares her concern. They sit together to hash out ground rules and guidelines, agreeing that any interaction involving the ghost mask must occur only after careful consideration and mutual agreement. Though hesitant at first, Allison accepts the boundaries set forth by her mother, understanding that her actions carry consequences. Years pass, and Allison grows older. Throughout her teens and early adult life, she continues experimenting with the ghost, allowing their feelings to flow freely around her. This experience helps bridge the gap between them and leads to deeper, healthier relationships in both business and personal settings. By adulthood, Allison has fully mastered her ability to control her emotions while donning the ghost mask. Using it sparingly and wisely, she discovers how to connect deeply with others without risking harm to herself or them. The mysterious mask becomes synonymous with her, making her reputation in both professional and private circles soar as someone who values authenticity and interpersonal bonds above all else. In her later years, Allison decides to retire the ghost mask permanently, acknowledging that its purpose has been served and its legacy fulfilled within her heart and mind. A sense of closure washes over her as she sets aside her fascination with the supernatural and looks forward to living out the remainder of her days surrounded by love, empathy, and genuine human connection. Allison passes away peacefully in her old age, leaving behind memories of her unusual journey and the impactful lessons learned during her lifelong obsession with the ghost mask. Her story lives on as a cautionary tale and inspiration to seek truth amidst complexities, reminding future generations that sometimes the greatest power lies not in possessions, but in the intangible strength derived from open-hearted communication and the courage to bare one's soul. As she sat beside him, holding his hand as he struggled to hold back tears, she knew that no matter what hardships may come, They would always find solace in each other's company. And when her end came, she died contentedly, smiling because she realized that the bond between parent and child surpasses even death itself. No longer troubled by earthly desires or bound by her own selfish pursuits, Amanda's spirit rose upwards towards the heavens, freed at last from the shadow of the ghost mask and the chains it wove upon her soul. Soon enough, even the memory of the cursed object faded away, replaced by stories told throughout time about the woman whose unwavering devotion proved that true love can conquer darkness itself. In this way, the legend of the ghost mask and Amanda became intertwined forever, serving as a testament to the redeeming powers of unconditional love and sacrifice. For just $3 a month, you can have your name featured in my YouTube videos and descriptions. Not only will you be supporting my channel, but you'll also be immortalized in the credits of my content. If you're looking for something a bit more personalized, consider becoming a $25 a month patron. I'll voice your stories and bring them to life on my channel. Create a special drawing just for you, or even write a unique story tailored to your interests. So don't hesitate. Join my patron community today and help me keep the spooky stories coming. And remember, together we can save each other from the YouTube algorithm. Thank you for your support.